Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. Lot to talk about today. A lot of talk about the Epstein files phase 1. And was it a nothing burger or was it not? Well, I've got two people here ready to dive into that. We've got Matthew Marsden, Blaze TV contributor and actor and producer extraordinaire, along with Logan Hall. He is our Blaze Media digital strategist and the ultimate shitposter online, who, by the way, was recently reposted by the great President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I think I can probably retire now. That's like the crowning achievement.
Have you gotten that blown up yet and framed?
I am going to. I have a website already drawn out for it. I was supposed to go out of town this weekend, so I haven't bought it yet, but I will order it soon.
T-shirts?
I'll get it on
T-shirt. I want a T-shirt.
On a T-shirt. I would wear that T-shirt.
I would wear that T-shirt.
I'm going to force my kids to look at that every day.
Did you touch it as you left the house?
By the way, anyone who is new to the show, he doesn't have kids yet. He's just saying the kids that he will have.
Future kids.
He is going to make sure that they look at that all the time. Yes. So obviously the Epstein files were teased. What was it, yesterday by AG Pam Bondi. She said, we will be releasing them. And then she said, hopefully tomorrow. And it was like, wait, what? Hopefully tomorrow? What are you talking about? And so we had this day where everyone was waiting on pins and needles for the Epstein files to be released. And it was unclear, are these the flight logs? Are these his contacts? Is this the unredacted, files from his court cases? What exactly is going on here? And so we had all of these, I guess the new media, you would call them, who went to the White House and they were all given these binders with Epstein files phase 1 distributed to them. And now we did have our very own Jason Buttrill, who went through what was purportedly released and said there's really nothing of substance that was released because as we navigate through this conversation, it is my personal opinion, we'll get into this, it is my personal opinion that the deep state is still working very hard to keep the important things from Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and the like. And so I want to go through some of this with you guys, but as we go through some of what we have now, I just want to read you Florida Congresswoman Ana Paulina Luna's tweet here. She's the head of the Declassification Task Force. And she says, after the release of this information, she says, I nor the task force were given or reviewed the Epstein documents being released today. A New York Post story just revealed that the documents will simply be Epstein's phone book. This is not what we or the American people asked for, and a complete disappointment. Get us the information that we asked for. And so from what we know, from what we have seen of this release, we have, an account of one of the victims, allegedly. It says, to victim, go ahead, what happened? Victim, on one occasion, the last time I went there, he engaged in intercourse. To victim, okay, how old were you then? Victim said it was the day before my 18th birthday. And then, Attorney General Pam Bondi, we saw last night, after she said that she would be releasing the Epstein files, she said that the FBI is currently hiding more files from Kash Patel, from everyone, and that the FBI field office in New York is in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Jeffrey Epstein. She said, despite my repeated requests, the FBI never disclosed the existence of those files. She tells Kash Patel in her letter, when you and I spoke yesterday, you were just as surprised as I to learn this new information. By 8 a.m. tomorrow, February 28th, the FBI will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to my office, including all records, documents, audio and video recordings, and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients, regardless of how such information was obtained. I am also directing you to conduct an immediate investigation into why my order to the FBI was not followed. Now, despite the strong way that she worded this letter, I just want to make it clear, this is very obvious that Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are on the same side here. they all are after the same goal. Kash Patel has not been trying to withhold anything from her. He just got in and he's like, I'm here to help you. Kash Patel obviously has made it very clear that he wants the Epstein files to be released. And so you have to imagine that he will be working hard to follow this order. The problem is there are many people in between Kash Patel and the files. And we have no idea, as we've pointed out many times on this show, the election concluded in November, the beginning of November. And in that time period, we had November, we had December, we had most of January, where we have absolutely no idea what the hell was shredded, what the hell was deleted, what was wiped from servers, or what was, hidden so that people would not have an obvious, connection to these things. And so you have to imagine the people in charge here at the top want to deliver us the truth. So far, this has been the most transparent administration that we have had in my lifetime. But the problem is they can't control it all. And you have these underlings who it feels like are subverting what the order was. So now it's like, I don't even know what we are going to actually have released to us publicly. And that's frustrating.
Yes, it is. I think, you're not going to be able to slay the Leviathan using your ordinary tactics. So you can't just go in there and expect all these people to just comply with the president as they should be doing. You have an entire fourth branch of government. You have a shadow government, as we've said for many times. It is an administrative state. And like you said, we have no idea how many redactions there's going to be on these things. I mean, the sort of approach of like, we're just going to drip little parts out at a time or whatever. Just release these things. Find them and release them. I don't know why this is so, I guess I do know why it's so difficult, but it sounds so simple. But at the end of the day, if they want to get the truth to the American people, they cannot go through the regular channels. They are going to have to play tough. You're not going to defeat the Leviathan with a bunch of strongly worded letters. You have to take action. And again, people who are in the executive branch that are supposed to be working for the president, at the president's will, who are subverting the will of the American people and subverting the duly elected president, there have to be punishments. You can't just fire some of them. A lot of them have to go to jail at the end of the day. They have to know that they're going to face consequences, or this stuff is just going to keep happening and happening over and over again.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think that I want every single person that criticized Donald Trump in his first presidency to come out and say that they're sorry. Because look at this. This is what he was dealing with every single day. And we all went, why hasn't he done this? Why hasn't that happened? Well, as you said, there's a fourth branch of government that's really running things. And that is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, we've said over and over, like, Biden wasn't doing anything. It's like
he didn't have to.
He didn't have to do anything. It was already running. And what's happening now is, and I think the people that are doing what you're saying is coming outside of it is Doge. I think Doge is so important because I tell you this, they've got some very, very serious people in that organization. They're patriots. Like I said to you before, they're not just these 19-year-old kids. You've got some badass dudes in there.
You know what? I don't care if they're 19.
Yeah,
I don't care if they're 19.
No, but they dismiss it like,
I know,
they're
but
just 19 years old.
I don't really care if they're getting the job done and they're super smart and they're.
If we've got a bunch of 80-year-olds in Congress.
Exactly.
19-year-olds.
Right. That's rather refreshing.
Yeah.
19-year-olds who know I'm going to be paying this money for the rest of my life. I would like to root out all of the corruption because I'm actually going to be around, unlike these oldies who are 80 years old and dying in Congress.
Well, they're also like, you're getting the most base generation in a very, very long time. And
Logan.
So what I'm saying is that they're working with people that have been there, that have done it, that have taken down foreign governments, that are actually coming in and looking at our own government. And I think that this just exposes so much into, it shows you the inner workings of, as you said, Logan, the Leviathan that has been siphoning money from the American people, getting us into God knows what war. We don't know whether the stuff that the intel now, I mean, do you trust the FBI? Do you trust the CIA now?
I mean, I'd like to trust it more under Kash Patel, but they haven't had a chance to shake things out yet, so no.
It's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Right now, let me just ask you this question, because I was thinking about this today. How are you going to feel if you are an American patriot and you get audited this year? You get audited.
How am I going to feel about paying taxes this year?
That's what I'm saying. At all.
Yeah, after all of what's been revealed.
I know.
Like, are you going to get a fair shake? You're still not going to get a fair shake. Like, this is how bad it is. We have almost 2 different countries going on in the United States. And I don't think people truly understand. I mean, they've been running up the debt. Well, why would you run up the debt like that? Because they want to collapse the country. Like, they want to take down the country from the inside. And it used to be these agencies used to protect us. Now they're part of it to take us down. We have, by getting Trump and by that bullet missing him by a turn of a head, right, by an inch, that saved the country. I mean, can you imagine what would have happened if we would have had another 4 years of...
No, I don't want to, really.
I don't think so.
I had 4 years of darkness, and as my parents who watch the show every day, my mom and dad, as my parents have noted, they're like, Sarah just seems happy again. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, because my kids, I think, have a future now that Donald Trump actually won the election. I was not so sure if Joe Biden, well, Kamala Harris had won.
There wouldn't have been a future for them.
It doesn't feel like it. It certainly doesn't feel like it. I mean, especially when you look at, and I want to play this clip from Marsha Blackburn here in a second, but to your point, especially when you look at, I mean, I know the Democrats want to hammer Donald Trump on eggs. And they're like, but the egg prices, he said, would go down. They've gone up because you guys ordered them to kill all the chickens.
Yeah, apparently they conducted a chicken genocide.
It was a chicken genocide.
And
now they're like, Donald Trump hasn't solved the egg crisis. It's like, but that's because of y'all did that. It's going to take more than 35 days to solve that crisis, and yet they still want to hit him on that. And it's like, this stuff is not going to happen overnight. You guys have created just detrimental things that have happened to this country. It's going to take a lot more than that, and we're seeing that happen even within the ranks of the FBI and the DOJ, talking about all of these Epstein files.
Permanent damage, maybe not reversible damage. I mean, I'm not going to forget for the rest of my life that they tried to kill Trump and they raided his house. Do you think I'm going to teach my kids to revere these institutions? No. I don't care how much reform they go through. You can always remember how corrupted they've become. And that's sort of the issue, is they've destroyed their trust and credibility. This is why they're like, okay, well, I hope Kash Patel goes in there and just dissolves the FBI. We don't need to reform it. It should be destroyed. It's become a secret police. And no matter how much you try to reform it, it's become corrupted and strayed so far from its original mission that you can't recognize it anymore. And this is the issue with trying to reform the bureaucracy. I don't know if it's possible. I hope it is, maybe, but I'm just not sure.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So you had Senator Marsha Blackburn, who went on Fox and said, now, by the way, she is privy to much more information than the average citizen when it comes to the Epstein files. And she says this is hundreds of billions of dollars of a sex trafficking ring, and that there is going to be a lot more that comes to light. Watch.
AG Bondi and Director Patel have worked with me on this. As she said, we have to make certain that these victims, and it is over 250, that their names are redacted, they are protected. And Maria, this is going to be a phase 1 release in short order. I will have the hard copy in my hand. AG Bondi is responsible for what will be the public release on this. She has worked diligently on this, and so appreciative that we can begin to get this information, that we can begin to break apart what became a global human trafficking, sex trafficking ring, about $150 billion a year business. It is time to get some justice for these victims, for these women and children, and this will be a phase 1 release. There will be more to come.
There better be.
I hope so. But it's also important to remember that over the past 4 years, they conducted probably the largest scale human trafficking operation in history along our southern border. Why is Mayorkas like not in the same league as Epstein? Why are all of these corrupt people who facilitated the cartels running our southern border and trafficking women and children across our border? That's the same thing that Epstein did. They didn't fly them to the island. They flew them right into the heartland of our country. How is that not any worse than what Epstein's doing? This is the problem. There is so much corruption and so much. We looked at this past week, the NSA, those private sex pervert chat rooms inside the NSA. These people have like spy power over Americans.
And they're talking about peeing on people.
It goes so deep. There have to be consequences. This can never be allowed to happen to our country ever again.
Yeah. No, to your point, do you remember when the fake Russian dossier came out and they were like, Donald Trump likes peeing on people? And now they're like, it was literally them the whole time. And now they're like, it's just a kink. Don't kink shame.
It's that joke, isn't it? Like they do exactly what they accuse you of doing.
Yes,
It's unbelievable. But if you just cast your mind back to the 2020 election, by the way, they will find fraud now. We are going to find fraud in that election without a doubt, right? So what you got to think about is this is so deep. It's so broad and so deep. The corruption, it's perverted. There's corruption. There's evil. This is really evil stuff. Mm-hmm. They could not let Trump get back in like that. And you can see why now, because we're all sitting there going, well, hang on a minute. Like they let that go before with the last president. Like, why are they going after Trump now? Right. On this little thing, why are they trying to make this thing stick? And we're all sitting there like over and over going, why are they making a big deal about it? There was this whole chess game going on that we were not privy to, that the elite knew. And right now, the panic that is setting in all across Washington is unbelievable. And it is actually the 19, the 20, the 21-year-olds that are going to take it down because they recognize, they're like, hang on a second, we can't even go on a date with anyone anymore, right? That's how bad it's got because you can't go and ask someone whether or not they're a chick or not now. Like, we can't even do that. And so they're like, no, this is over.
Wow, that's so transphobic. You wouldn't go out on a date with a dude? That's very transphobic, is what I'm told.
Allegedly.
That's what the NSA probably thinks. My gosh. But that is the problem. Where do we go from here? Do you bring everything crashing down? Do you try to save what you can and just go in there? I think what Trump needs to do is just move fast and break as many things as possible because you only have 2 years until the midterms. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we win the midterms, but who knows? Sure. And then he only has 2 years after that with potential Democrats in control of 1 or 2 chambers of Congress. So you got about, 22 and a half months, 23 months left before the next elections. Mm-hmm. And you have to really, that's a very short timeline to save the country. Yes. And I hope they recognize what time it is. Firing a lot of these people is not enough. Getting them out so they can go find a cushy job in the private sector for 6 figures a year is not enough. Yeah. People have to face consequences. People have to go to jail at minimum. Yeah. Jail is the moderate solution for a lot of these people.
Yeah, you're right.
Or otherwise,
military tribunals is what
military tribunals. Steve D says after a fair trial, of course. Yes. Yeah. We have to take our country back, and these people have to face accountability for what they have done to them.
Or they're just going to do it again.
So many people have to go to jail. I cannot emphasize that enough. I know I say this over and over again, but a lot of people have to go to jail.
Yeah, let me just say this. I'll tell you this. They won't have a choice because the left right now is scrambling because they've been hit from so many different angles. And we never do this. We always play defense, right? And Trump was the first one to come in and go back at them. And what he's done is he's put Kash Patel, all these other people, which, by the way, they've been berated and cut down in front of, these ridiculous confirmation sessions. The left has not coalesced yet to push back. And they are going to push back. They are going to push back. And it's not going to be pleasant. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you right now, because they will lose everything.
Yeah.
And so they're going to push back. So our side, we're not going to have a choice.
Right.
They're going to have to start
Escalate.
it's going to escalate.
Yeah.
It's going to escalate.
Yep.
It is.
Yep. No, you're right. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we're going to be back with more. But I want to thank our sponsor, this segment, Relief Factor. So Relief Factor is there for those of you who live in constant pain. You just think that's your life now. Probably depressing because, I remember when I was in pain, but I'm not anymore because I use Relief Factor. Him too. Matt Marsden too. Okay. Logan's too young, so he doesn't have any pain.
I'm getting there.
Are you?
I'm getting there.
Shut up.
I'm going to kick him afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. So Relief Factor is a very, very potent, all-natural anti-inflammatory. And it was developed by doctors who were like, we're tired of prescribing our patients medication that makes them loopy and doesn't actually solve the root cause of the problem, which is typically inflammation in your body. So if you have inflammation in your body, you have pain, but it doesn't have to be that way. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start. Okay. 70% of the people who order that go on to keep ordering more. That's how many people it's working for. The odds are in your favor. It can get you out of pain, and then that could be life-changing for you. Go to relieffactor.com, get that 3-week quick start. They've got a guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose except your pain. Go to relieffactor.com. Let's talk about the curious case of Gene Hackman. You guys read this?
I saw this.
This is very strange. So this morning, we had breaking news that Oscar winner Gene Hackman, 95 years old, okay, he was found dead along with his wife, 64-year-old Betsy Arakawa. They were both found dead. I'm just trying to get it right. I want to be respectful to the dead, but I don't know how to say that. They were found dead along with one of their dogs in their residence. This is just giant compound in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I want to play the person who placed this I want to play the 911 call, and then I want to go through some of the details because this is it just keeps getting a little bit stranger. So let's listen to that 911 call.
The caretaker for Santa Fe Summit up here past 10,000 waves. I think we just found one deceased person inside a house. Damn.
Are they awake?
I have no idea.
Are they breathing?
I have no idea. I'm not inside the house. It's closed. It's locked. I can't go in. But I see them. She's laying down on a floor from the window.
Do they appear to be awake or alert?
No. It's not.
Okay. Are they moving at all?
No, dude. They're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
So when I read this, I was like, okay. He was found dead. His wife was found dead. Their dog was found dead, which is very strange. And initially, the police were like, we don't suspect any foul play or anything like that. And my first thought was it had to be carbon monoxide poisoning. Yeah. That was my first thought. It was apparently his daughter's first thought as well, because she told media sources that she suspected that they died of carbon monoxide poisoning. However, and this is like the authorities were like, foul play is not suspected. However, a couple strange things on this story that I'd like to point out. Their bodies, apparently, they are now saying had been there for, they think, a couple weeks because they were mummified, is the latest. And 2 of the dogs that were on the property were found alive, which makes carbon monoxide poisoning far less likely. And then they had a firefighter who came and checked for gas leaks, carbon monoxide leaks, and said that he couldn't find any. So then they learn more developing information that the front door of the home was open and unsecured, that Gene Hackman was found in their mudroom with his cane next to him. So they don't know if he fell or what, but they were in 2 separate rooms. So he was found in a mudroom, and that his wife was found in a bathroom next to a heater that had been moved. She had a open prescription bottle and pills scattered on a counter near her, and that their German Shepherd was found dead in a closet just off the bathroom where the wife was found. That's weird.
Are you suggesting foul play?
I am suggesting foul play. Now, I am not the police chief of Santa Fe, New Mexico. I just like to point out for anyone confused, okay? Not the police chief. I'm just saying all of this is very, very strange. And what's stranger to me is that the police immediately were like, no foul play is suspected.
Yeah.
And did you hear the call as well? He goes, I think someone's deceased.
Yeah.
And they go, is he awake?
I just said I think he's dead.
Yeah.
That's
and
weird.
by the way, look, I mean, I just want to say this. I love Gene Hackman. You know, he's one of the greatest actors of all time. He's a veteran. This is incredibly sad. You know,
American patriot.
He really was like one of the good dudes.
Old.
No, I mean, he had a good inning,
Right,
but I mean, I still don't want to die like that at 95. You know what I mean? But the weird thing is if you find a dog in a closet, what would you do if you wanted to get rid of a dog? You put him in the closet, right? You close the door. So, I mean, the whole thing is very weird and very sad, actually.
Yeah, it is very sad day. French Connection is probably one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Just classic.
He got it. That was 1972. He got a Best Actor.
I don't know what
Oscar
year it
award.
was, but classic.
I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. Logan, for the record,
I'm not the same as you oldies.
I also was not born in 1972, Logan.
Neither was I.
Yeah.
I just have Google.
But classic, one of the best movies I've ever
I hope
seen.
everyone enjoys Logan Hall's last episode on Sara Gonzales.
Yeah, if this is
Hall
the
was
last time you
found-
see me, I'm sorry.
He was found dead in a closet.
Yeah, it is very sad, and it would be less weird if it was just a 95-year-old, because 95 is pretty old. But you're found there with your early 60-year-old wife. That does raise some questions. I don't want to speculate, but I did see that this morning, and the first thing I thought was, I'm going to watch French Connection tonight in honor of Gene Hackman.
Just so strange.
It is weird. It's weird when they rush to judgment like that, especially considering those circumstances, right?
Well, I mean, surely they didn't give any details until they came to the premises and saw the scene. And immediately when you see the scene and you see that there are two other dogs and alive, and you see that your investigators came in there and like weren't immediately struck by some sort of toxic, chemical or poison or whatever, and they're totally fine. It's like, okay, this all seems very suspect. This is strange.
I mean, the dogs, as far as the other two dogs, they could have been outside if he's got a big...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Maybe so. But why didn't the investigators go in? Why didn't because there was a firefighter who came in and said they found no evidence of a gas leak. And if there were investigators on the premises who were investigating all of this, why didn't they feel it, right? Like, why didn't they faint because of carbon monoxide? I mean, the leak would have still been...
Well, they have a process,
right?
don't they, as well, to go into when they have to enter a place because you can't enter it and contaminate it.
Yeah.
And there's, but again, that call, I still go back to the call where he said, again, he did say, right, like he's deceased.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's mummified, right? I mean, by the way, the second thing is you go in there and it's going to stink, right? It's going to absolutely stink.
Yeah.
So he's mummified and he goes, is he awake? You're like, I just told you.
Just said he's dead, bro. I just said that. I know. It is really, really strange. And this was apparently like a maintenance worker on the property. So I guess which is why you hear a little bit of emotion in his voice. But
sad. I mean, it's Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
R.I.P., man.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
It is just really sad. But I mean, I just hope they get to the bottom of it, because at first glance, it feels like Santa Fe police do not want to get to the bottom of anything. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. It'll be interesting to hear how that shakes out. All right, we've got to take another quick break. By the way, if you guys have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. So make sure that you are subscribed if you're watching this on YouTube. Hit the like button. You can gently tap it. It's fine. We appreciate a gentle tapping from time to time.
I'm not going there.
You don't have to. I said it.
I'm not doing it.
I said it. You don't have to.
I'm not going to.
I mean, you can... Never mind. Also, you can comment. It'll help us out in the algorithm, which we all know is stacked against us. And by the way, we've got a restock over at AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. Make sure you go there as well, you females or you males who like to get your wives something nice. go to AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. We've got plenty of stuff there for you. All right. So Jace Medical. Jace Medical is there for those of you who understand the importance of emergency preparedness. Okay. So a lot of people, they're like, I have emergency food, so I'm good. But you're not good because you don't realize what if something, I don't know. Imagine, if you will, a world in which supply chains could completely shut down and all of your medication is manufactured in China. Now, I know it's very, very hard to believe that that could ever happen. But if it did, you would be without really, really important medication. And that could be a really bad predicament for you to be in. Oh, wait, that actually happened like 4 or 5 years ago. So listen, emergency medication is very, very important to have on hand. You hope that you don't need it. But if you do, you have it. So go to jace.com. They have the Jace case. That is a case of 5 essential life-saving antibiotics for emergency use. And what they can do is they can also give you customized add-ons. So you can add ivermectin. You can add an EpiPen. You can add whatever you need to fit your family's needs, and you hope that you don't need it. But if you do, it's there. Go to jace.com. They've also got a giveaway going on. You can enter that as well. And you can purchase your own case. Enter promo code Sarah at checkout for a discount on your order. That is promo code Sarah at jase.com. Did you guys hear that there was a woman arrested for planting explosives at a Tesla dealership? Did you hear this? Hold on. Okay. All right. So a woman who January 29th, 2025, vandalized a Tesla dealership in Loveland, Colorado, allegedly. Okay. So there was damage to vehicles. There were smashed windows. There were spray painted messages. There were incendiary devices that were discovered on scene. And then fast forward to February 2nd, which happens to be my birthday. No connection to this wasn't a birthday celebration for me. Okay. I just want to make clear. The same dealership had offensive graffiti, property damage, incendiary devices again that were used. And then there was more vandalism February 7th. Molotov cocktails were thrown February 24th. Same dealership. And so they said Lucy Grace Nelson, 40 years old, was arrested by Loveland police detectives while allegedly returning to the Tesla dealership. And she was in possession at the time. You'll notice the pronouns that I'm using because I'm reading from the news articles, okay? In possession at the time of additional incendiary devices. So they were like, oh, this is the person that was doing that, clearly. So I want to read through some of these headlines with you, okay? The first one you'll notice is a Fox News headline. Fox News headline, woman arrested after explosives discovered at Tesla dealership. Denver Post, woman arrested on suspicion of vandalizing Colorado Tesla dealership. CNN, woman with incendiary devices arrested following vandalism at Tesla dealership in Colorado. And People, woman accused of trying to plant explosive devices at Colorado Tesla dealership. Could we please get a picture of the woman? Oh,
she's so feminine.
There he is. This is actually Justin Thomas Nelson, and he believes that he is a trans woman. And so we have here pictures of him posting himself, pictures of him in a dress. That is his mugshot. And of course, I wish that we had the actual ABC News tweet was what I was looking for, which is they tweeted out go back, pull that up. We're going to work with this one. Pull it back up. The woman caught trying to plant explosive devices at Tesla dealership in Colorado. This was literally on ABC News's Twitter account, X account. That was the graphic that they used. There was another Fox News one that had the same thing. They had the headline up there and used the dude's picture and still said, this is a woman.
Woman was caught in possession of a penis. You should have you should retweet it. Have a picture of woman, a picture of him at Tesla dealership and have a horse on there. Because, I mean, that's as close as what Fox News, man.
Fox News. I don't know why anyone is still watching or reading Fox News, but this is your reminder that you shouldn't be. And instead, you should subscribe to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered and Blaze TV, because we would never try to pass that off. And the thing is that, thank you, use promo code Sarah, save $20. Okay, blazetv.com/Sarah. More importantly, just make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube. But I'm just saying, like, you know that they are complicit in this lie because they're adding the picture to the article. So they see it. They're just scared to say the truth, which is more trans terrorism.
Yep. Yeah, I saw somebody right underneath that. They said woman, and then they did the little JD Vance, like, huh, is that a woman? I don't know. It is important. You know, you can understand ABC or CNN doing this, but I think a lot of people, especially people who consider themselves like conservative or on the right, they think that Fox News and these like sort of traditional, like New York Post even, are on their side. They are not. Nope. I promise you, they are not. If Fox News is willing, I don't even understand why are they willing to go along with this lunacy? They position themselves as the ones who are not who are going to break from the legacy media, and they will call out the legacy media on their lies. What is a bigger example of a lie than denying reality like this? It is crazy. There are so many. There are a lot of enemies inside Fox News. Yeah. As you can understand, I mean, they fired Tucker Carlson for talking questioning too many things.
Yeah. Vaccine for starters.
But they've done that for several people that are consider themselves Christians and don't want to go along with this insanity.
I mean, again, can we just pull up this lovely, feminine, graceful? I mean, that's not
a
even
woman. It's important to understand that is a woman according to Fox News. That is Fox News is definitely.
So how can you trust anything else that they write?
Yep.
Nothing.
Yep. Nothing.
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. This is like, and by the way, as the woman at the table, you guys don't identify.
Don't you dare!
You? Okay.
Don't you dare!
I'm gonna do it. Okay. As the lone woman at the table, I would just like to point out it is horribly offensive because this man isn't even. Like, he's not even trying. He just grew his hair long and he's like, I'm a woman. And then he bought like a thrift store dress.
Yeah, it's not even really ugly. It's not even really close to passing.
It's not. And that's what's so offensive. I mean, it's all offensive. Okay, I'm not going to lie. But like,
it would definitely be less offensive if he were
Blair White is owning it, right? Like Blair White is owning it, and like there is a certain level of like, okay, well, at least you are putting your money where your mouth is. You are committed to the bit, okay? This guy is like, I'm just gonna grow my hair out and put on a dress.
Yeah, I'm a woman.
You know what's great though? Do you know what's great as well? You got to think about this as like, I'm gonna go and bomb a Tesla dealership. He goes, he does it, and he doesn't go to another one. He goes back to the same one again.
Yeah.
And bombs it again.
Was this, and I assume this was like just trying to like target Elon in some way.
That's what my
it's probably because Elon said like, you have a woke mind. And then you prove that you don't have one by going and bombing a car dealership. I mean, it's beyond.
Wow, you really got us, bro. Yeah. You really, really got us.
Like that as well. You're like, yeah, no, Elon's completely wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I stand corrected. Thank you very much, sir. You may sit down now.
Ma'am,
it's ma'am.
I'm a lady. I'm a lady, don't you know? Look at me, so ladylike.
It's so insulting that we're forced to like tolerate this as a society.
Not me.
As a society, though, that you have to think about how quickly this has to be our goal too. It took about probably 10 years for the left to complete their revolution. We have to be thinking 10 years in terms of just the latest, like, I mean, it's been going on for a while.
Sure.
But they did accelerate.
For 50 years, but severely accelerated it over the past 10 years, right? Yeah. We need to be thinking in the same terms of rolling back all of their gains. It cannot just be like this 2-year, 4-year plan. We have to be thinking about taking back everything, everything, not just getting back to being like, I saw Elon the other day. He said, I'm okay with trans adults, but stay away from the children. It's like, actually, no, we're not playing this game anymore. We're not entertaining these mental people belong in asylums. We're done with it. Okay. So we need to start thinking about, I don't want to just get back to the middle where we're like, oh, okay, we just need to like tolerate the transgender celebrities or whatever and just keep away from the children. No, get this the hell out of our society.
1000%.
Okay. They aren't okay with us. That's the problem. It's like when we're importing people in from countries that hate us, we might be like, oh, we're okay with you, but they still come here wanting to kill us.
Right.
So it's not going to change it. You got to understand that it doesn't matter how you feel towards them, it's how they feel towards you.
Well, but I mean, it also is, let's extend the logic, right? To Logan's point, let's extend the logic. If we are not okay with children making irreversible decisions because we know that there is no such thing as being trans. I'm assuming we're already off of YouTube now, so I'm just going to speak freely. So if you're walking into this like, okay, we don't want children to do this because we need to protect them because we know that this is not a thing. Why then should we allow adults to go off and do the same thing?
Well, it's the same argument for all of these. A lot of the brainwashing that's occurred in our society is that, if this doesn't affect me, you can do whatever you want. That's not
that's how we got the culture rot too.
Drug addicts on the streets injecting heroin, just because that doesn't affect you does not mean that that is not degrading to your civilization and your society.
Exactly right.
There are things that are good and uplifting for people and things that are bad, and you impose them. We used to understand this. You have to impose some limits on people. This is what all of the people who threw off religion thought they were just going to enter into this utopia where everyone can make their own decisions and we can all just get along and be happy. No, you have to have authority imposed on people for the greater good. Now, that doesn't mean you are going to become like a statist or a terrible like communist revolution or whatever, but rightly ordered liberty is the way to do this. And that's how we have to be viewing our goal as we try to take back our country.
I mean, we wouldn't turn around and say, well, I identify as not having an arm.
Yeah.
So I want to cut my arm off. You wouldn't be like, okay, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It actually is the same thing. And
we don't need to live in a civilization where we're chopping off perfectly healthy body parts.
You don't need to indulge these people's fantasies.
I don't care if it's an adult or a child. Like, we should not be doing that.
It's not that we need to help them.
Yeah.
We need to help them because they're mentally.
Going back to my solution here, a lot of doctors who participated in this need to go to prison.
Yes.
A lot of people have to go to prison.
Yes.
It's society-wide.
And you go to prison, and you go to prison, and you go to prison.
Straight to jail.
Yes.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So I don't know if you guys saw the latest on President Trump's, the day one, he signed an executive order that was reevaluating and realigning United States foreign aid. And there was a freeze on foreign aid because it was like, hey, the American people voted for us to not send all of our hard-earned tax dollars over to other countries. And so we are going to have no further U.S. foreign assistance that shall be dispersed in a manner that is not fully aligned with the foreign policy of the president of the United States. And so earlier this week, you had this Biden judge. This was a Biden-appointed judge, Amir H. Ali. Sounds very American.
Do you think his ancestors came over on the Mayflower?
Sounds very American. Sounds like he really should be ruling on where foreign aid should go. He ordered the Trump administration to resume hundreds of millions of dollars in payments for USAID projects across the globe. He said that if we cut off the funding, we would do irreparable harm to organizations that maybe have had to lay off staff and halt projects. I fail to see the problem, sir. And so he said, I'm going to give you until the end of Wednesday to release this billions of international aid and send them where they go. Well, yesterday evening, the Supreme Court of the United States stepped in to temporarily block the lower court's attempt to force Trump to send this foreign aid. So now it is very unbelievable that we even had to get that far. But now I'm like, Okay. I mean, if we have to take it to SCOTUS for a permanent decision, hopefully that is a sign of things to come. But I mean, imagine an activist judge by the name of Amir H. Ali telling us, Americans, that we have to send our money to all of these foreign places that, like, President Trump, the president that we just elected in November, the commander-in-chief, the top executive officer of this country says, I don't want to do this. And Judge Amir H. Ali is like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, I'd like to take the lead on this one because I think I have a few things to say about
Do you? I'm shocked.
No way.
I'm shocked.
I do. I think it's, number one, I'm pretty sure I saw a Republican congressman who tried to, or who has already introduced articles of impeachment for this judge. I think we should do that with basically every single Biden DEI judge, which is pretty much all of them. I mean, they just stacked the bench with a bunch of foreigners and DEI hires. Number two, Amir Ali, it's completely insane that we allow these people, these foreigners, number one, to hold any positions in our government at all, or in the judiciary, or any of our elected offices. When you talk about like Pramila Jayapal or Ilhan Omar, these people hate America. They just advocate for more and more unlimited immigration and foreign assistance to all the countries that they really care about. They don't actually care about America. So that's one thing. And then number two, not just that he is on the bench in the first place, but that he is now trying to override the president of the United States
on where our money
to
goes.
Usurp the executive power on a foreigner is trying to impede the president, the chief executive of the executive branch, to send more money to foreign countries. This is completely insane. Any nation that wants to survive will not. I know you're from the UK. You guys are dealing with a lot of the same problem. Seems like every Western nation right now has way too much foreign influence. And I understand also that our State Department probably imposed a lot of the terrible stuff on you guys. So I'm not blaming the UK necessarily. But we have to, at some point or another, we are going to have a very difficult conversation about what it means to be an American. You cannot hold these allegiances to all these foreign countries and still consider yourself an American citizen or an American judge or an American elected official when you're just not. Okay? This is insane. And when they tell us that we are a country of immigrants, no, that's not really true. We're a country of settlers and conquerors and pioneers, and a country of, some could say most importantly, Christians. We are not a country, we're not this melting pot of everywhere, from every people, from every place, from every country all over the world. It is insane that we allow these ethnic groups to come into America, and all they do is constantly advocate for their own ethnic groups over Americans. How do we, this is like kind of the central thing of Trump's.
Take us home.
I'm sorry, this is
10
kind of the
seconds
central
left.
thing of Trump, but this is what America Last looks like in practice, and we have to end it.
Amen. By the way, the man was born in Canada. Parents are Egyptian. You do the math.